So that video that I did this morning in the library, it cut out, um, and it, like, on my end, it cut out when I went out the door, but it actually cut out earlier than that on the video. But as I was walking out of the door, there was someone walking in with her children, and her children are just running out ahead of her. And right as I come out the door, there's a boy with a red shirt at the front of the line of children. And he's just running through the door right as I walk up to the door with the red shirt. It's just someone gang stalking with their children again. There's a bunch of people in there gang stalking with their children. And there was a baby that sounded like it was crying synced. And there was this mom and her son walking around in there gang stalking. And there was children making directed conversation sounds or whatever across the room. And there's a bunch of people stalking with their children when I went outside too. There's a bunch of people stalking with their children today, and just all the time. It's just always people stalking with their children. And I just want to know why. Why do they stalk with their children? Why? And a helicopter just flew over me like an hour ago or whatever. Just flew over my apartment. And like right as it did, this car pulled up next to me, like right over by my apartment, right over by my window. This car pulled up and parked right as the helicopter flew over me. So yeah, I don't know. That happened today at the library when the video cut out, and it cut out right at the door. But like I said, it cuts out earlier on the actual video, but it was like right when I walked through the doorway that it cut out. And then the other times that it cut out recently, it was right at the intersection or right when I get across the street. The connection is cutting out at synced moments and coming back on at synced moments. And it's doing this when I'm not recording too. It'll just cut out and then come back at synced moments. The connection on my phone. But it went out right as that boy with the red shirt was running up, right as I was going through the door. That's when the connection went out. I didn't catch that part on camera. And then just every time I go there or anytime I go anywhere, like anytime I'm walking into a room, there's just people like looking at each other, like giving each other these looks like with like a smirk on their face, like just because I'm walking in the room, you know. There's like, ooh, you can just see it on their face that they know what they're doing. They're not under remote control, mind control. They know what they're doing. They're playing a mind game, and they're all looking at each other, smirking as I walk into rooms. That's just always happening when I walk in there at the library, like all the people working there. Like, and then when I went in today, they just walk away. Right as I'm walking in, they go in the back, like, they just walk away from the desk right as I'm walking in. And just all giving each other these looks like, oh, here he is. It's showtime, guys. There's this guy standing outside staring at me, and there's all these gang stalkers out here. There's a lot of whiteys out here. My refrigerator just turned off right when I set the water bottle back down. But I've just been seeing a lot of people stalking with their children lately, like today, and I mean all the time really, but today I saw a lot of them. People getting out and into cars with their whole family, a bunch of children, red shirts on. I guess that's just what you do with your children. If you have children, that's just what everyone does with their children. Just go out and stalk with their children. Like everybody that I see with their children, they're stalking me with their children. Like everybody that has children is a stalker, I guess. Because whenever I see people with their children, they're stalking me with their children. But someone hit my Cash App so I can buy a gaming system so I can play GTA. Someone play GTA. And then I can live stream a GTA footage. And then y'all can see, I can show you there's gang stalkers in GTA. Because there is. All the NPCs are gang stalking on GTA. So send something to my Cash App so I can buy a gaming system and I can show you that there's gang stalkers on GTA. And I can play Minecraft and other games and stuff. I can start a gaming channel or something. I got 300 subscribers, so if everyone sends me $5, I can buy a gaming system. So everybody send me $5. Then I can play GTA. Yo. What's up, everybody? Am I pissing? Yes. Huh. The whiteys are outside. Huh. The whiteys are always outside. Those whiteys. They go crazy out there. Psychotically crazy. Literally crazy. They've been hitting me in frequencies more frequently. Right in my ear hole with frequencies. When I'm in my apartment. Mainly just when I'm in my apartment. It happens outside sometimes, but usually just when I'm in my apartment. Yup. So, just microwaving my brains, I guess, or something. I don't know what it's doing to me. So that's cool, you know. Just happens all the time. Huh. I see a state trooper or something. I don't know what he did. Some type of terrorist tactic, I bet. But yeah, every time I see some of the children, it's synced, and every time I see a dog, it's synced, and every time I hear a dog, it's synced. And those, and it was crazy last night. Like every video that I made lately with dogs in it, they're doing sync things. Last night's video, there's these dogs that I was walking by the house. These dogs are barking like crazy as I walk by, and then like they're parked or their house is like right next to the corner. It's like right next to the intersection. So I walk up to the intersection. There's these dogs barking at the house. It's right on the corner there, and then right as I step on the street, the dogs stop barking right at that exact moment. They just stop barking. All of the dogs. There's like 4 dogs out there, and they're all barking, and they all stop barking right when I step on the street. And then they start barking again right when I get across the street at the curb. And then they stop barking, and then they start barking again right at the sidewalk. And they just stopped completely barking right when I stepped on the street. And then there was the other dog on the video the other night that just like walked up on the driveway, and there was a gang stalker car that met me at the intersection and was pulling into that driveway as I walk up, and this dog is meeting me right there. and then there's someone walking out of the house, and they're like, "Get back here," to their dog. They're always doing that. Like, they'll just have a dog outside, like, without a leash, and it'll just walk up to me as I walk by their house, and then they'll come out of the door right as I walk by it, and they'll be like, "Hey, get back here, leave me alone." That happened, and then the dog was barking synced, and then just every time I see or hear a dog is barking synced and doing sync stuff and walking around synced, taking a piss next to me synced, and doing whatever synced. Like a robot on a remote control. And then, like I said, the baby was crying synced today at the library. And what is making babies cry synced? Why are they crying synced? Why are they crying synced? What would make a baby cry synced? Are they crying because they're in pain or something? What is making the baby cry synced? Why is this always happening? It doesn't happen like all the time, like every day, but it happens a lot though. And it seems to happen like every time I go to Walmart. There'll be children and babies like, crying and screaming synced, whatever. There's a car pulling up and parking as white truck takes off, and this other guy just got in this other car, and then there's other whiteys, and there's a bunch of gang stalkers. A lot of them. Just a whole gang of stalkers. Goofy ass shit. Get out and vote for Illcat, y'all. If you haven't voted for Illcat yet, what are you waiting for? You Vote for Illcat. Together, we will win America. Vote for Illcat. If Illcat wins, we all win. No more baby sniffers. Vote for Illcat. Would you rather vote for Illcat or vote for a baby sniffer? My refrigerator, did you just hear it get louder right there, right as I walked away? It just gets louder, see? This fucking bitch. Fuck you, refrigerator. Get a life. Thank you for keeping my food cold, though. I appreciate that. The chain horn was going crazy today. He went off like 4 times. Just like 4 different times where he was just going off over and over. Synced up. Being a creepy chain horn. Stock puppet. And then there's a siren this morning. I think there's another one when I was recording, wasn't there? I don't remember. Yeah, I think there was. But there's no train horns or sirens right now. But there probably will be sometime before the end of the day. refrigerator just got louder again right as I walked into the other room. Right as I went through the doorway, it got louder again. So I don't know how that works, but it just does though. It just always gets louder synced and starts up synced and turns off synced. And then it'll make like weird like clicking noises sometimes synced. And then my water heater makes all types of weird noises synced. And then my heaters on the wall click synced. And then my toilet just turns on randomly synced. It's just like, or it just gurgles up through the bowl. There'll be bubbles coming up through the bowl, synced. One or the other. And then sometimes it's just turning on a bunch of times. It's just like, doing that and doing it synced. And then every time I flush the toilet, it turns off synced. When it's doing it with the refill in the water, it'll turn off synced every time I flush it. Right when I finish washing my hands, or right when I tie my pants, or right when I flip the light switch off, or right at some moment it's synced, it'll turn off every time it's synced. And it'll stay on at different time period, like time lengths. Sometimes it turns off like sooner than other times, but it's always synced when it turns off. Every time. And this is kind of crazy, because how does that work? And I'll just hear all these random like noises in the walls and shit. It sounds like something inside the wall, but it'll be synced. I don't know, maybe they got a robot squirrel running around inside of the wall or something, and it's making sync noises or something. I don't know what's going on, but I'll hear these random noises inside of the wall synced sometimes. Weird shit, just all types of weird shit. So just is what it is, man. It just is. It just is what it is. Just is. Like there just is dogs that stopped barking right at the street when I got there. It just is. Like I'm not making it up. It's right there on video. That did happen. So I'm not lying about any of this other stuff. It just keeps happening. Like my toilet is always synced. I'm not imagining any of it. All these things I'm mentioning just keep happening and it's synced every time. And the animals and all the stuff. It's synced. And all these cars right now are synced. They're sync relating. They're sync relating. And then my refrigerator is going to turn off right now. Nope. It didn't. But when it does, it's going to be synced. I went outside earlier today and there's just this tan truck driving by when I came outside. This loud tan truck. And he's just like slowly driving up the street and then he like stops right in front of me basically as I'm coming out the door. And then he's just like right in front of me. And then there's people standing outside too, gang stalking. They're just laughing, and then they walk in the door right as I start walking. They're just standing outside, laughing at the tan truck driving by me. It's just funny, I guess. It's just like a prank. It's like a prank show or something, I guess. But they're pranking me every day though, and they're never like, "Hey, this is a prank. Look at the camera over there." The prank never ends. It just keeps going. They just keep pranking me. You know, pranks end, but this prank just keeps going. It's a never-ending prank. So at some point it becomes less of a prank and more like harassment, you know? But to them, it's just like a prank because they just do it once and then they walk inside. It's like, haha. But if it was happening to them, they would blow their brains out. But anyway, I don't really know what else to say right now. I'm sure there's something like there's always things that I forget to talk about, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that too. It's the never-ending rabbit holes of stupid stalker nits. Synchronated stalker nits. Just never ends. They're doing it right now as I'm talking out my window with a bunch of cars syncing up in color patterns, just like they always do. Like, it's just even if I'm not looking out the window, they just keep driving by out there, and that's just insane to me still. Like, I just think about it. Like, I just forget about it sometimes. For like a few seconds, I'll forget, like, like my mind will go back to like just before I knew I was being stalked. Like I'll just kind of forget about them for a few seconds, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, there's stalkers just constantly driving by outside, even if I'm not looking out there. People just constantly making noises, trucks beeping, all types of noises. Just constantly, man. Vote for Hellcat, y'all. Let's change this shit, stupid shit. This sucks. Vote for Hellcat.